Well, nobody liked the dragon. Well, I'm not really surprised. A little disappointed, perhaps, but not really surprised. I suppose in a small way that's kind of a good thing. But I am what I am. It is what it is. And now you have a clue. Still, there's more to dragons than fire and rage and fury. There's also wisdom and insight, perhaps even some enlightenment. There is persistence and passion and determination. Well, today I'm going to be the other dragon. No fire today, no fury today, no rage today. We need to move on. A year, and then a few days, into the Trump era, we have all had our moments of outrage and indignation. We have all complained mightily to the heavens, to the fates, to Providence, to God, to deliver us from this pestilence of Republican politics. We have prayed that Robert Mueller will do his job and do it well and do it thoroughly and, oh yeah, by the way, do it quickly. Well, that too is what it is. It is time for the rest of us to move on because Donald Trump will not. It is time for the rest of us to move on because the Republicans reject the very notion of progress, and conservatives reject the very notion of the future, while the rest of us embrace the notion of the future. And it's time for us to start rebuilding ours, in spite of conservatives and Republicans' best efforts, or maybe I should say worst efforts, to destroy it. What I wanted to speak of right now is the dark forces, the dark political forces, if you will, the dark side of the political force, the people, the organizations, the entities that give the Republican Party their agenda, that give conservatives their hope for a past reborn. And those forces go by the name of corporate America. My personal shorthand for them is the corporati. Big pharma, health insurance, any kind of insurance for that matter, banking and finance, oil and natural gas, telecommunications, you name it. If it's a corporate interest, it's on the dark side. Donald Trump is merely the front man for the corporate agenda. He himself is one of the corporati with an attitude. In the year that remains before next year's elections, we need to all make ourselves very much more aware of just who is backing the Republicans, the Republican candidates, whether they're incumbents or challengers. And it's not just Steve Bannon, who's got his own personal axe to grind against the world. We need to be aware of corporate influence on both the Republican Party and, frankly, the Democratic Party, because in their own way, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party are members of the corporati. You don't get to have an organization that large, that organizationally complex, and frankly that profitable, without employing the very same methods and tactics of the corporate America. So we must begin by recognizing that the Republican Party is itself one of the corporati. The Democratic Party is itself one of the corporati. We need to understand that, and we need to recognize it, and we need to be aware of it. What can we do to defeat the Republicans and their agenda? Well, it's going to involve more, much, much more than just simply beating them at the polls. Because as I already mentioned, a couple of times I believe, if we simply trounce them at the ballot box, congratulate ourselves, and walk away, they will be back. Guaranteed, they will be back. And as bad as Donald Trump looked, they'll find somebody who is even worse. Probably Steve Bannon. We need to be mindful of that. That's all I have to say for right now. But as someone with short hair and sunglasses once said, Ich werde zurückkommen.